Hi everyone. So what I want to share with you is something that I have experienced, and it is about a parasite that I did have, and what I did and what supplement that I took that I'm just going to share with you. I'm not giving you any affiliate links or anything like that, but I just want to share because I think that this is something that carries a lot of shame and embarrassment. Nobody talks about it. You go to your doctor, they don't even acknowledge it. So this was my experience probably 6 years ago, and I have not had an issue since. And I think this is when I first started my biomagnetism journey. Pretty sure I'd have to go back and look at that. Anyhow, I ended up leaving my job. Oh, and I'm just going to tell you right now. So what I'm going to tell you that I took was wormwood. This is the only thing that worked. And then I do a bunch of other stuff afterwards, and I haven't had an issue in 6 or 7 years. Okay, so just so you know right off the bat, this is the exact one that I took, and I took it 3 capsules, 3 times a day, and I took it for 6 weeks before I even seen a difference. And I knew at that 6-week mark, I knew everything it was over. And I share that in my biomagnetism sessions that I do with people. I teach them how to make their own magnets and, do the whole body inner train cleansing. I do it like a 3-week thing with them. Anyways, so they've heard this story. You who have taken those sessions have heard the story. So I started having horrible symptoms. And I remember I left my job because I could not go out in public. I always had to be, and this is going to be TMI, just letting you know. I always had to be close to a bathroom. And it was horrible. It was loud, and it was nasty, and it was just horrible. And I was like, what is going on with my body? I don't understand. I went to the doctor. He just gave me anti-diarrhea stuff, right? And it went on for 3 months. And I was like, so I left my job to work at home. Thank goodness I had that option at the time. So I got set up, and I remember I couldn't really leave the house because I never knew when something was going to hit me, and I had to be close to a bathroom, and I did not want to be in a public bathroom, that's for sure. So I remember taking all my computer and everything into my job. I worked at IBM at the time, and I dropped it off, and I remember just going to the grocery store and hurrying up and having to buy anti-diarrhea pills just to get me through till I got back home. So I went to the doctor. He wasn't of any help. I was talking to a friend on the phone. Her name was Karen. Karen, I forget your last name. She lives in Moncton. Anyways, and she said, Sue, and I was telling her, embarrassing, but I was like, I don't know what's going on with my body. This has been happening to me for 3 months, and I don't understand. And she said, have you ever took or tried wormwood? I said, no. She said, Sue, seriously, order it and take it. So I did. I ordered 3 bottles, and I took it, every single day. And this is the kind that I bought. It's from New Roots. That is what I bought. And on the 6th week, I knew that it was over because of an incident that happened, that it was finally this parasite that was in me called Giardia. That's what we're talking about. Sorry. It's Giardia parasite. And I only found out about it. I only knew about it because I Googled my symptoms. I was like, these are exact my symptoms, and that had come up. And of course, when you go to the doctor, they don't even talk about parasites, right? It's like it's non-existent in Canada. I don't know. I see it everywhere now, though. People are getting much more aware, but this isn't to scare you. You could get it from water, you could get it from an ice cube, you could get it from a lake. I mean, there's so many places that you could pick this up. So the Giardia looks, this is one of my biomagnetism books. This is it. That's the little guy right there. That does so much damage in your body. But after 6 weeks, I don't even think I did biomagnetism at the time, or maybe I was just getting into it and learning about bacteria, fungus, parasites, and all that stuff that happens within our body. So I took it in on the 6 weeks. My body purged so badly. I was so thankful nobody was in the house. It was gone, and it was just the smell of death. Sulfur, I'm sorry if my kids are watching this. It was like something dead came out of me. It was absolutely horrible. So anyways, I was like, wow. So every year, and then it never had a problem after that. It was gone. It was gone. I was like, oh my gosh. So every year, so this was 6 or 7 years ago, I take this for once a month, just every year. I'll always take it. And on the back, and wormwood is even in the Bible, just so you know. You can look it up. It's such a bitter herb that it kills so many things. But anyways, I took that. Just this year, I started to take clove water, make clove water, and I take that as well. But that was just this year, and that is supposed to help with, getting rid of parasites and stuff too. But there was one pair that in biomagnetism that they tell you, because parasites will go to different parts of the body and call it home base, right? They like either it's in the buttocks, they'll be in your intestines. Well, the Giardia likes to be right up here. So one of the pairs that you would take a positive magnet, a high Gauss magnet, and you would put, so like if on your breast, you kind of feel like where the dip is, right? You can feel that. So you put it on it's called esophagus hiatus is where it is. And this is for the parasite Giardia. And then you put the negative on the right side. So you're just going to stick it. I put little magnets on the inside of my shirt so I don't have to use the tape. And I'll still do this all the time. Open my shirt. There. And I'll just have it like that for 30 minutes. And that makes it so that parasite, it just gently moves, right? Like it doesn't move, but it's like, okay, we're not comfortable anymore. So I combine this, with the wormwood, and now I take clove water, and I do a whole parasite thing. It's what I'm into now. And then if you have a parasite, the only reason you really have a parasite too is because there's bacteria in your body that it's feeding on. So you have to find the bacteria that the parasite's actually feeding on. So within doing the whole biomagnetism, clearing inner terrain, which I do all the time, every single day, I won't go a day without having biomagnetism magnets on me. That keeps my body cleared out, right? So it's not a one and done thing. I do stuff to my body to make sure that I never have that again. It was embarrassing. It was something you couldn't, who do you talk to about that? You don't make posts about that. I mean, I do now because I want to tell people. I just seen a post and it was talking about the parasite Giardia, and I was like, yeah, I was there. I know the shame, the embarrassment, and you can't leave your house, and how just ungodly that something that bad is inside of you to create that kind of nastiness, right? Horrible. So I highly recommend, if people can take it. I mean, I don't know the logistics around who can and who cannot, but I was desperate. And I know they say that you should only take it for a certain amount of time, so it was the 6-week mark for me. And I will take it every year, and I've never, ever had a problem. Now, we have We have ground-fed spring water. So our water is gravity-fed. So it's a gravity-fed spring water. But who knows where I could have picked it up. Could have been at like a lake, a river, an ice cube, eating out. Like it's not because you're dirty. It's because of contamination and other things, right? So, but you know, you feel dirty. You feel awful dirty when you have something like that. So it reproduces. That's the thing with the Giardia. It reproduces. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. In one of, I've got my 3 different manuals, 3 different courses. But here it says Giardia parasite. It is fixed and it reproduces in the intestine and creates inflammation of the duodenum. It is transmitted by contaminated food. It can create nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, and putrid diarrhea. So you also would impact the pair called duodenum on your body as well. And that's, gosh, I would have to look it up, but it's down here somewhere. I don't know if it's on the left side or the right side. I'd have to look that up. But there's a sensation around there too, and difficult to assimilate conflict. So this is an emotion that's about, wrapped around that, and not being able to digest a situation that you're in. You just can't stomach something. You can't digest the situation you're in. So everything that you come across, it has like an emotional thing that goes along with it that I find absolutely fascinating. Anyways, if you're having any symptoms like I had, try the wormwood. Get on a biomagnetism. You learn biomagnetism. You don't have to take the course. I can teach you how to make them. I can teach you how to do a 3-week thing that covers the inner terrain and the parasites, and you do that to your own body every 3 months. I take the wormwood. It's not just a one and done. I do the clove water now, but clove water, I didn't do that back then, right? It was the wormwood. And I think I might have just been starting. This, or I did soon after. Anyways, that is my story, and I hope that it helps somebody that might be going through the same thing. All right, bye-bye.